You are tuned in to your dose of positivity. I am Marlene Motivates, and as I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
And to gain further support, join my channel membership. Hey everybody, it's Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and welcome. I am your channel for all things positive, motivational, and inspirational. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you over here as a part of the Motivators family. So welcome to everybody. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. You had a great day so far. And we're going to get into today's topic on talking about love bombing from friends and family. Okay. So first we got to see who is in the chats. Mod on deck, mod on deck. Realist one here. How are you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Boss Life Online. Got a member in the house. How are you doing, Gio? I hope all is well with you. Hey, James Wilson, welcome in. How are you doing? Another member on deck. Really appreciate you guys being here. If you could please like and share this out, I really appreciate it. Yeah, all of that. So, everybody, today we're going to be talking in on a topic that I feel like is so important to talk about because it's happening every day, and I hate to see any of you motivators being played games with. So, we're going to be talking about love bombing from relatives and friends. And I will say this, not to say that friends and relatives can't say I love you without it meaning something negative. But I'm talking about the family and the friends that they only say these words when they want something from you, and they're playing games. It's about the mind games, and we are on top of it. We're not going to allow it anymore. Maybe for a long time you used to be in that you allowed a toxicity to be a part of you. You just let things happen. You allowed it, because you didn't think that you had any other choices. And we think that way sometimes, when we're in that negative environment, when you're just used to doing something for a long time, we feel like that's our only option. We must do it because they are our family, they are our relatives, they are our friends, right? You have to do it. No, you don't. I'm here to uplift your thoughts, your thinking, your attitude, and let you know that better is there for you. You don't have to accept foolishness. You don't have to take the drama, and you don't have to be a doormat and be used by relatives and friends. Okay. See if I miss anybody. Thank you all so much for being here. And thank you so much for the shares. And anybody who is watching in the replay, hit the like and leave me a comment in the comment section below. So let's start off this topic by just sharing this, love bombing from friends and family. They say, I love you to get something from you. So we all know the ones. As soon as you pick up the phone, I love you so much. Or they show up at your house, your apartment, wherever your residence is, and they say, I love you so much. Or it's so much, it's so much words of, all the sweet words like, oh, you're looking nice. I see you taking care of yourself. So they're really pouring it on very thick for you, just so that they can get something from you. And it's terrible that it has to be that way, but it is. And I want you all of you motivators, to know that, just because somebody is saying, I love you, it doesn't mean that they actually mean it. They only mean, I love you so that you will give me what I want. And if you don't give me what I want, then I hate you, right? Then I hate you. I hate you. And then they say everything negative about you, right? They say everything negative about you. They hate you. They talk about you behind your back. They do some of the dirtiest things when they can't get from you what they want. So we know them, right? Do you have them within your relatives, within the people who are your quote unquote friends? They say, I love you to get something from you. And the moment that you don't, they're ready to backstab you, ready to throw you under the bus, ready to talk dirty about you to everyone, ready to spill all of your secrets. Now, I'm here to tell all of you motivators that that is not love. Maybe that's the way we were introduced to love, growing up in our childhood, thinking that I love you equates to buy me something, equates to do something for me. And the moment that they don't or they can't, they don't really care about me, so I can do what I want. No, no motivators. That's toxic behavior, and it's toxic talk. So you don't have to take that. You don't have to take the foolishness from your friends and your family. Okay. So don't think that you have to take it. Hey, Miss Tracy, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. How are you doing? Welcome in. Hey, puzzle pieces, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Got my members in the house. I really appreciate all of you. And shout out to all my mods. So, yes, they say, I love you to get something from you. Let's get into point number two. Love bombing from friends and family. They use you, but it's all about them. All they care about is themselves. So they're very selfish. If they can't use you, then they will discard you. then you're nothing to them. You're nothing to them. They could care less about you. All they want is give me what I want, do what I want, and if you don't do what I want, then I don't love you and you don't love me. See, that's controlling. That's something that's a very negative mindset. That's toxic behavior. That's all what we don't need, motivators. We don't need that. That is not healthy love. Healthy love is someone being there and supporting you regardless of if you can do something for them materially or not. Okay? So we have to recognize all of those signs. We really do. And we have to pay attention to each and every one of them. And for a long time, I used to be involved in feeling that if I didn't do all these things, then I wasn't a good sibling. I wasn't a good cousin. I wasn't a good friend. I wasn't good to anybody if I couldn't buy them something. So what you wind up doing is you're buying their love. What about when times get hard for you? Does that mean that you stop loving somebody because you cannot provide financially or you can't buy them these expensive gifts? No, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. It means that you just can't at a certain time. Gifts should be given from the heart. We should be able to give to others because we care about them, not because I have to give to you or else, or there's some fear and there's some worry and there's some doubting of love. If your love is wrapped up in price tags or being their banker or being the person that has to bail everybody else out, no, that's not love, everybody. Let's get into point number 3. Love bombing from friends and family. They only call you when they need something from you, and they never, we're listening right here, and they never check on you. You know it. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, can you give me a drop here? Hey, can you buy me this? Hey, can you pay my light bill? Hey, I just broke up with so and so, and I'm gonna need some help. I need. Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Or if it's your friend, hey, could you help me out with $50 until payday? Hey, I know, I thought I carried my wallet to the restaurant, but I didn't. Can you cover me this time? I'll get you on the next one. Hmm. You know I love you, and I always appreciate everything you do. Hmm. If they only love you when they can use you, that's not love, everybody. It definitely isn't. And this is the fourth and the last point, everybody. Love bombing from friends and family. They are never satisfied. No matter what you do for them, no matter how much you bend over backwards, no matter how much nice things you do for them, no matter the gifts that you buy, the encouragement you give for them, no matter what, they don't care about you. They only care about what you can give them. And when they cannot use you anymore, they don't love you anymore. And that's toxic. That's not what we need, motivators. We don't need that type of, if that's what they say is love, you don't need that in your life. You really don't. They're never going to be satisfied and you can never please them. Hey Atomic, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, it's so sad and so true that it's happening every single day to so many people. And for me, for myself, I thought for such a long time that I had to do certain things for people because they were my relatives, because they were my friend. But actually, all I was their banker. All I was is their banker. All I was everything that they wanted. And the moment that I stopped being able to be there and support them financially, then they got a whole different attitude. They got a whole different outlook towards me. The phone calls stopped. Actually, they avoided me and cut me off. If that's what love is supposed to be, mm-mm, I don't want it. And you don't need it either, motivators. So let's invite my co-host up to the show. Let's welcome in Nexie.
Hello, Marlene. Hello, chat.
Hi.
Oh my God. How long do we have on this one? I have a list, Marlene. I have a
I
list.
have the time today. I have the time. So go ahead.
Oh, well, I have had, I told you before therapy, I was the go to the Bank of the Americas. Remember, I said that in your chat. I
Mhm.
was the one that they always call for everything, family and friends, close friends. But as I started getting it, getting therapy, I started, finding my voice and putting my foot down. But I remember I had this one person, her car was broken, a very, very good friend of 14 years, best friend. Her car was broken, and I gave her a ride to work, and she worked probably like 50 miles away from my job. So I will pick her up in the morning and then drop her off and then go to my job and then come back in the afternoon, pick her up and bring her back home, to her house. I did this for almost 4 months. And everything was fine, Marlene. Everything was great. She will call me every day to see how I was doing during the day as well. And then one day, probably like a couple of years after this happened, my car broke down and I had to ask her for a ride. I called her the night before and I said, I need a ride to work today. And don't worry about the afternoon. It's just in the morning because I have to, have a car. It's in the shop. And you won't believe it. She wasn't able to do it. She couldn't. She had to go pick up her nieces, drop them off at school. And my job was too far away from hers. So I didn't get that ride. That one time I needed her. Did,
Sorry, guys.
so
Technical
sorry.
difficulties.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's what was happening. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if you heard what I said, but yeah, the one time I needed her, um, her car, she had to drop off everybody else and then give me a ride. The one time I needed her a ride.
Your your audio was going in and out for a second. Nexie, I didn't hear you just now. Can you
Hold on.
repeat that? Well, thank you all so much for being here. How's everyone doing? Happy Tuesday to everyone. I really do appreciate you all being here. And do you all have somebody in your family or your friends that has love bombed you into doing something for them? They only want you when they can use you, or are you the person that speaks up? And I know there are so many who are afraid to speak up and tell their loved ones that I can no longer be your banker. You're going to have to make better financial decisions. You're going to have to do X, Y, and Z, or I'll do what I can when I can, but don't sit and depend on it. I think a lot of times that we're afraid to say to our loved ones, "You're using me." Sure, I can. Puzzle pieces. Um, I think a lot of times we're very scared to say to our loved ones, what you're doing is using me. What you're doing, I don't like it. Can you please call me sometime other than the times where you want something from me? And that's what I learned for myself, what was happening to me. I don't know if it has happened to any of you motivators, but it's very hurtful to know that the only time you get a phone call is when they want something from you. I feel that that hurts a lot. It hurts my feelings when I know that I'm only there. they only want to be there for me when they want something from me. Hi, the jewelry spot. How are you doing? Welcome in. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And if everybody could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it.
No, I'm so sorry about that, Marlene. Every time I go
No
through
problem.
StreamYard, it gives me the same problem. Anyway, I don't know if you heard everything I said before, but it was someone that I had a friendship of 14 years with, and I was giving her a ride for like 4 months back and forth through her job, and when I needed her, that one time, she couldn't do it for me, and it would if it would have been the Nexie from before, I would have just taken it as, what, she's busy. It's okay. It's okay. I know she has to take her daughter, her nieces, nephews, whatever. I know that any other time she would have done it for me. But this time it was a different Nexie. So
Mm,
that was it. Like, I never did anything for her again. And the same person used to be the one that, oh, you know what? I'm very short this paycheck. Can I borrow 100? I'll give them to you next paycheck. Right? And that next paycheck, oh my God, I know I owe you, but I'm sorry, right now I don't have it. Can we wait until so and so time?
mm,
So, but from then on, I stopped giving that financial support and that readiness of doing anything she wanted me at any time. And that's when she started bad mouthing me. This is a friend I told you. She started bad mouthing
right.
me with a lot of people around our circle, and it's unfair, and it's
Yeah.
unbelievable that they go to that length just because you said no.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I can't stand. I can't stand that you have somebody like everybody's grown, we're all adults. Sometimes you can be there for somebody and sometimes you can't. And I don't understand what is the reason why a person will get mad. But, to be honest, 100% is not everybody is mentally stable. Some people, that we know within our own circle of our friends and our relatives are not well balanced mentally. So we have to understand that part too. And also, when we have enabled people to be toxic for such a long time, it's hard to, uh, it's hard for them to accept that I'm not gonna do what I used to do because what I used to do was toxic and I am not toxic anymore. And that gets them upset as well.
And you're so right on that one, Marlene. And that's who I was. Remember, I said this to you before. I was an enabler. I was the
Mhm.
one that was always ready to pick up the phone, to go pick them up, to take them to the airport with, and that's another one. I will take people to the airport when they came back from their trips. Not even a piece of candy. Here, I brought you this from my trip, and thank you for taking me. Or here's some gas money, right?
Yeah, what about
And I
that?
was that person. Yeah, I was that person that was always enabling. And I have heard, you're an enabler from somebody else that, care for me as well. And I was always quick to say, no, I'm not. I'm just being a good friend. Or I'm just being a good, sister-in-law. I'm just being a good sister, or a daughter, or whatever.
Mhm.
And the part here that we need to understand from what you just said is that we cannot be enabling these people, regardless of mental issues. We have to put our foot down and only do things that we want to do, not things that we feel we have to, because when it's something that we have to, it becomes a chore. It becomes something that we're doing it without the wanting and desire, so that at the same time we're actually, I don't know, betraying is the right word, but we're actually doing it to for this person without the want and desire. We're not being a good friend or a good family member. That's what I feel.
You know what I think it actually is I think it's that what once we realize that all the things that we're doing and how we're enabling, I for myself, I had the feelings of guilt. I felt so
Hmm.
guilty. I felt like I was a terrible human being because, I was so used to doing it. And I would say to myself, oh, if I don't pay their light bill, water bill, whatever bill it is, who's gonna pay it? And then my therapist said, they will. They need to pay their own bills. Why? It's not your responsibility to be that person's fallback all the time. So that's something that I had to learn too, and I'm sharing with you all too. It's not our responsibility to cover other people that we love because they make poor financial decisions.
Exactly. And also that, that is so true because um, when somebody would ask me for a ride, and, I will say the same thing to this family. But if I don't do it, who will? How is so and so going to get to work or to whatever they have to do? And this person will say to me the same way he or she did the previous day, the last week, the next week. Why does it always
Yeah.
have to be you? And that was the thing, that the pattern was there. It was always me, and I didn't want to listen to the fact that I was an enabler, that I was the one saying, if you need anything, just call me, okay? If you everything, just call me. I'm right here for you. So I was the one enabling these people to do this. So at the same time, I was told, then don't get upset when they do because you're the one telling them. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I'm the one
Yeah.
doing this. So once I
Yeah.
stopped, giving rides, lending money, paying bills, oh, covering for groceries. Can you go to the market if you go, and can you bring me this? The list goes
Their
on, and
whole
then I got
grocery
to their
list.
house. Yeah, I get to their house, drop off the groceries. Oh, thank you for dropping them off. I'm so happy you did. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll get you next time. I'm like, am I a delivery service before delivery service existed? And it wasn't like pocket change. It was at least 40, $50. And you're like, what about the money for the, and I will even give them the receipt. They will take it. Thank you so much.
Wow.
And whenever you ask for that money back, it's like, oh, I didn't know you were going to charge me. Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to pay you back. They're your groceries.
Yeah.
You know what I
Or
mean?
or they said, "Oh, here is the one. This is the one that kills me the most when you do something nice and they borrow some money and promise to pay it back, right? But it's never paid back and when you bring it up, I thought you said that was a gift."
Oh, I've been there.
I'm like, "Hello." Like I'm tapping my phone like, "This must be a bad signal because that was not the arrangement."
Yeah, and is that, and then they stop talking to you, right? They stop talking to you because you're, can you believe she's asking me for that money right now that I'm broke? And then you see them eating from place to place to place to place to place with everybody, buying
Yeah.
coffees, putting
And
them,
buying new
posting them on their social
outfits
media.
and
Yeah,
yep. Mhm.
yeah, I had to wise myself up. That's what I had to do. I had to become a little bit more wiser and understand that if they didn't have gas money or electric bill money or grocery money, that I didn't have to be the one to provide it. That if I didn't do it, they going to starve. No, they're probably going to find something in their fridge to eat, and if they didn't, then that was on them. It wasn't on me. That's what I had to learn, Marlene.
Right. Yes. Hey, Jewelry Spot. Hey, Anita. And I found that too, Nexie, that it's just a terrible thing when you realize that you are part of the problem. And one of the things that I learned from therapy is learning to be accountable for yourself. That while another person could be wrong, our relative or our friend could be completely wrong in what they're doing to us, but are you helping it to continue or are you putting a stop to it? So I had to realize that it was me always saying, hey, how's this? And did you pay your bill? Leave them alone. Let them figure it
Hmm.
out.
That's exactly what I'm saying, that I was the one enabling this behavior. I was the one always putting myself ready,
Mhm.
available, anything you need. So when you tell someone, I'm here, just, call me if there's anything you need. Are you giving, only call me for this, or are you leaving it open for anything they need?
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that, even when they came back to me and I felt really bad because they didn't have this, didn't have that, I had to make myself, you know, come up with an excuse until I learned, and I found my voice and I said, nope, I can, but I won't.
Hmm.
At that point, there was no stopping me, Marlene. Yes, I
Yeah.
can, but guess
Yeah.
what? I won't. And I
Yeah.
was
What?
very happy.
Yeah, and I'm so proud that you found your voice. It took me a very long time, and even till this day, I still have a hard time. I still struggle with it, but I know when I'm being used. Like if I help somebody once or twice, that's fine. But when I see it's a habit, like regularly,
Hmm.
like every week, 3 times a month, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, this is
Yeah.
becoming to be a routine.
The, yes. And to me too, Marlene, it took me a very long time. I mean, years of being, everybody's mat where they can step all over. And when it came to me or my family asking for anything, they were never available. I'm telling you, this friend of mine, 4 months, Marlene, taking her to work, and it was like 10, I think it was like 15 miles away from my job. I had to pick her up, drop her off, then go to work, and in the afternoon do the same routine for 4 months. I think it was three
Wow.
or 4 months. I don't remember correctly, but it was months.
Mm.
And when I had that need, and this is like a year or two later, when I had that need of her giving me the ride because my car was in the shop, she says, I am so sorry. Your job is far away from me. Like, and I have to pick up my nieces and my daughter, take them to school, and it's gonna take me way off from my job. And I was
Mm.
like, I just did this for you not too long ago in my mind. And I'm thinking, and I told her, I said, oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate, oh, no, I'm so sorry. If it was another day, I probably would, but today I can't. And that's when I realized that, it was just a one-sided friendship, loyalty and everything else. And it was 14 years of friendship. And once I put my foot down, that was it. She started bad mouthing me with everybody, all of our friends, acquaintances,
Wow.
and stuff like that. Yep. But you know what? What goes around comes around. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, exactly. Hi pieces of April, welcome in. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say is I thought for a long time that somebody was my friend, and we think that we know people 10, 15, 20, or plus years, and we will think that people are our friend, and they really aren't. They've just been around because you've made it convenient for them. And once the convenience runs out, that's the end. The real person, the real mask falls off, and that's when the bad mouthing and all of
Mm.
that, the drama, and you know all of that. So you find out that, oh, this was nothing I thought it was.
Yeah, exactly. And Marlene, when I had to confront her about what she was doing, I remember that day very, very clearly. I said the things I had to say, and I said our friendship ends here, right? This is the last time. I said, but let me tell you something. I go, seeing all these years and actually putting all of your behaviors, out on the front. I said, there's gonna be actually more, there's a possibility of you needing from someone like me in the future is more possible than me ever needing from someone like you. And I
Exactly.
left that friendship there. And guess what? Exactly. There were people saying around our circle, now I understand you, Nexie. She's been borrowing me from money from me. She's been using. I was like, I don't want to hear it. It has nothing to do with me. You guys sided with her. It's not my problem. You deal with it.
Exactly. And guess what? When I was getting all the love bombing from friends and family, I had been warned. People had been telling me about certain individuals. Oh, don't do this for them because once you start it, it will never end. It will never end. It was like, do not open up that can of worms. But I didn't listen. I was like, that's how they treat you. That's not how they treat me. They're so sweet to me and they love me. See, that's what we think is a tactic.
Yep. No, that's no, she's best friend. There's no way she's, yes, she is. But I'm this, I'm that. How can she? No, no, you probably heard it. You probably misunderstood her, right? You probably misunderstand them. I didn't see like it had gone through years of people telling me, be careful. But they wouldn't say, be careful with what, Marlene, or why, right? Be careful with her. And I'm like, why or what? They will never answer. And it took for me to get burned to understand what they meant.
Yeah. And you know what? I will say something that it may ruffle a few feathers, but when I was younger, we didn't have the type of parents that would have conversations and say certain things. They would just, you would see them make a move and cut off certain people, but they would never say, explain to us. We all we knew is you don't talk to them anymore. There was
Mm-hmm.
no explanation as to the reason why. So that's why now with my nieces and my nephew, I have a special needs sister. I have conversations and I will tell them we don't deal with them anymore because X, Y, and Z. And
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that that's not a good thing, that that's toxic. And then I even would explain what toxic means. And you should never let anybody use you. So
Mm-hmm.
so they start getting in their mind, and when they hear it after a while, we need to get the younger generation to understand from a young age that I don't have to deal with things. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to put up with things. Just we think just because they're young that they're too young to understand a lesson in life, and they're not.
You know, exactly. And what I started doing, Marlene, myself is, if I was going to help someone, let's say, like I said before, I would tell them I can gift you this much and that's as much as I can do. But if I saw the need, I will say, all right, we're going to make a contract. How are you going to pay me back? And I will write down, we'll both sign, and I will remind them, I can take you to court for this. So make sure you pay me back. And when are the dates? Do you need
Mm-hmm.
leadway on the payment back? How much can you do? Because we got to keep in mind that when you just give the money without writing anything down, they're going to confuse it as a gift. And I'm not Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So I will do that. And you know, the funny thing is that doing it like that worked for me because the person or persons that I lent money to, um, they will be on time. Oh, here's the 50 that I told you I was going to give you today, sometimes 2 days in advance. And I taught my children to do the same thing, even among themselves. You know, if you borrow from your sister, write it down and say, when are you going to pay me back?
Right.
So they learn that they're not just to freely give things like that or just trust people, because we're not in that environment anymore. We're not in that world, the trusting part world. We can't.
Yeah. And you know what, Nexi and chat, the thing that I learned is family and friends can be the hardest and the most toxic people that we'll have in our life. And it can be so hard to speak up and to say what you want to say. Like, it's hard to say you're using me. It's hard to say all you ever do is ask me for money, all you ever do is XY, whatever toxic behavior that they're doing to you. And always following behind, can you do this for me? I love you so much. Or you're my
Mm.
favorite aunt, or you're my favorite sister,
Oh
or you're my
yeah.
best friend. They put it on really thick to make, like, it's almost like it solidifies. Once I say all this, can you help me? You're really not sure until they say, I love you so much, sister.
Yeah.
Then that,
Oh
that it does something to your mind and your heart. Like, it
yes.
gets it all twisted up, and you're like, well, you know, you
Or
are
when you
my
do that
sister, or
favor,
you are my best friend.
Marlene, or when you do that favor, right? You give them the money and they tell you, this is why I love you so much. This is why you're my favorite at the end of giving. So what happens then is, oh my God, so they love me. Oh, I'm their favorite. This is why, oh my God, because I'm always there for them. So that little phrase, even sometimes when you're in a good space, that you're very comfortable with everything, you can say no, whatever. Sometimes that phrase twists you inside. And you agree to things sometimes that you're like, how did I agree to this? Why did I agree to this? What just happened?
Yeah, what just happened to me? And it's like you get so twisted up in your mind that what I'm learning and what I learned from my therapist, you don't have to make a decision right then and there. That's the beauty of being a grown and a mature adult. Is knowing that let me think on it. And here's
Hmm.
another one for my spiritual people. Let me pray over it.
Yeah, Marlene, I don't do that. I just say, yeah, no, I can't. Now it's so much easier for me now to say, yeah, no, or you know what, I can, but I won't. I don't mix business with family or friends. I don't like this, Baron, because we're gonna end up as enemies. No, I promise I would. I say, yeah, I've heard that before, but no, I'm sorry, I don't do that. So if anything else you need, no, okay, then take care, because the only time they call you with, oh my God, how have you been? I haven't heard from you in a long time. I've been thinking about you, right? And then they drop the love bomb, and you're like, oh, they've been thinking about me. Oh my God, she just called me to say hi, and then they give you the end of, can I borrow? Can you do this for me? Can you
Mhm,
babysit? Can you? I'm like, no, no. Before you start, I know I love you too, but before you start, no, I can't.
mhm. Yeah.
And it's
No,
so
and, and,
rewarding
that,
to
and
say
that's
no.
why sometimes as soon as they pick up the phone, I know it sounds cold. You'll even say, because you know the main offenders, what do you want? I know that
Yes.
doesn't sound nice, but
Nope.
that's
That's what I
like
do too.
as soon as you see the phone ring, what do you want? And they're like, oh, hello to you too. No, I was like, what do you want? Oh no,
Yep.
I was just calling to say, yeah, what do you want?
And sometimes it's just to say hello. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so used to you asking for everything that I thought you were going to ask for.
Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of people don't understand this, and that's why they probably still in that allowingness, right? Or that enabling it of these people. But love bombing someone, it's very powerful. It's very powerful. It takes even the smartest of us, under the bus, because the person saying I love you and that's why you're my favorite, I know that I can only count on you because you're the best of all your siblings, or you're the best of all my aunties and uncles, and I love you so much, and I you're the only one I can count on. That love bombing can actually do something, can do a thing on your heart, and you
Yeah.
give in. But now it doesn't work on me anymore, and the more I do it, the more powerful I become, and the
The
more like,
stronger. Yeah.
yeah, the more stronger, the more like I get this surge of power. Yeah, I'm like Thor. No, and I throw the little thunder.
Yeah, you're like, no way.
I
Forget
shattered.
about it.
Yep. I don't even say let me think about it. I'm like, no, I can't. Sorry. I mean, I can, but I won't. So, but
See,
thank you
the
for
only
thinking
the
of
only
me.
time the only time I have to think about it is if it's one of my younger like cousins, like they're underage, they're not an adult. I will say I have to think about it because I need to find out really who is this coming from. Is this them, or is it
The
their
parent.
parents?
The
Yeah, so
parent.
that's the
Yes.
only time where I will say, let me think about it, let me pray about it, because I need to do some investigation work.
Yeah. No, what I do is I have like ready money, right? Okay, here's 20 for you. I'll spot you 20. Don't tell your mom because she'll take it.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't go there because, like I said, to get that back, you create enemies. I don't like
Yep.
asking for my money back because it's my money. I hate asking for it back. Why do I have to ask you? I was willing and ready when you took it, and you were too. So why do I have to be chasing you to pay me
Oh,
back?
oh, and here's the part that I hate the most, Nexie, is if you see that said family member or friend out in public, they're hiding. Have you ever? Oh my goodness, you see
Yes.
them, and then they're ducking down, they're hiding behind, and I was like, do you see them hiding over there? I say, yeah, I see them. Look like a fool.
Yeah. Yes, or they leave the party or the gathering the minute you get there. Oop, I gotta go. Bye,
Yeah, oh
everybody.
yeah, I'm not feeling so good. I gotta get out of here.
I for,
Yeah.
I forgot I had another engagement. And before you get to them, they're out the door and leaving, and they don't answer your phone calls. They don't answer your texts. So the last time I did this, I actually went inside the workplace, and I was like, I have not been able to get you on the phone, or you're not answering my texts. So I want to know what's going on. Where's my money? Because it
Hmm.
was $500, right? I gave them to
Wow.
you almost a year ago, and I haven't seen anything. So since you're not answering my phone calls, you run away whenever I'm close to you. I need to know where my money is. So I need at least half today. And I'm not going to leave this place until you give me half. And I got the whole amount. It was right there, Marlene, right there. And then I left.
Hi, Tex Lala. They're buying new stuff and they still owe you. Yeah, that's the.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, that's
Yep.
that's that's what really irritates me and burns me up. Nexie, when you ask for your money and oh no, I'm having it really tough, and then you'll see them on either a vacation, bought new outfits, something, or you see them eating out every day, and you're saying to yourself, I haven't eaten out in weeks, if not months, and they're eating out every day. I'm
Yeah.
like,
No, I say, oh, there's my money. It went on vacation. There's my money. He went out to eat. Now I get where my money's been
mhm.
or where my money's
You
going.
find out really quickly, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. And that's why I don't mix family with business. Me lending you money is a transaction that I'm not going to mix with you anymore. And I don't. So guess what, Marlene? No phone calls, no hellos, no how you doing, auntie. You come into the room, sometimes they roll their eyes at you because you're not that loving auntie that used to give them everything before. And I don't care. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
I can see who you are, but like I said before, there's gonna be a chances of you needing from me in the future more likely than me needing from you.
Yep. And I always say, if that's what love means to them, I don't want any part of it. I really don't. So this is a great point in the show where I think we should just go over into the after show. So I just put the link for all you members. Let's head on over there. Thank you so much, Nexie. Do you have any final words?
Just learn to say no, to whoever is taking advantage of you. That's it. That's pretty much it. Just learn to say no. Guard yourself from those people. Thank you for having me, Marlene.
Thank you so much, Nexie.
Bye,
And
everybody.
yes, thank you so much, Nexie. And to everyone who is here, to all you motivators, don't let other people who are your family, your friends, love bomb you by words. Do I love you only if you can do. See, that's conditional love, and we don't do conditional love. Love is unconditional, and if you can't just get love from your said family and friends, it's best to just leave them alone. Leave them alone and walk away, everybody. Leave them alone and walk away. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Let's keep our minds sharp, everybody. Keep your mind sharp and keep an eye on your money because they'll be watching if you don't. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, Petty Vision, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank you all so much. I really do appreciate all of you members, all my motivated people, my mods. Appreciate y'all. And I will see everybody who is a member over on the after show. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And those of you who are watching in the replay, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Have you been love bombed by family and friends? Let me know below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe. forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, hey, yeah.